Why are games still released in unfinished states, man? I mean, if the gaming industry as a whole wants to raise an extra $10 for the cost of games, like we see with Tears of the Kingdom coming out later this year, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and the most recent Jedi Survivor coming out and its controversial release. And even like games like Gotham Knights being unable to run at 60 frames in current hardware, which is pretty crazy. It's kind of insane that these gaming companies and the industry as a whole wants us to pay an extra $10 for the same BS we've been dealing with the past decade. So let's do some ground rules. I'd say as the consumers of the said product do have the voice and power to stop some of the shenanigans these game companies have been doing, like with the Cyberpunk 2077 debacle, Halo Infinite, and of course Jedi Survivor, the most recent case. So let's get into some ground rules, man. First off, no pre-orders. Can we stop pre-ordering now, please? We should not be pre-ordering games because the game will still be there since they launch. The games have to come out either way because shareholders and stockholders, all that. So there's no point in us spending the $60 or $70 to pre-order the game that's going to come out in a buggy state and or broken. I mean, you saw how many of the delays CD Projekt Red had with Cyberpunk prior to its release. It had about 8 million pre-orders. This shows companies that people are willing to buy something without even giving a second thought about what they're getting out of this. And that gives them reason to delay the games that they did about 4 times, I want to say. And that's not even one of the cases. I pre-ordered Anthem, that abomination of a game, which on release was very lacking in content, bugs, and was soon later shut down because no one was playing the damn thing. And I regret pre-ordering that mess of a game, man. So yeah, rule number 1, let's stop pre-orders. If y'all want $70 for the games, at least give it the games time to breathe. Let it release complete, please. I know bugs and glitches are always in games, and that's reasonable in some cases, but releasing games like 2077, Battlefield 2042, Anthem, and many other games, man, that have been terrible on launch. It's sad to say, man, why are we paying this price for it? Why are we paying $70 for a broken mess? It doesn't make sense at all. We have to wait until release and still be skeptical about it. I mean, you worked hard for your money. The least you can get out of it is a complete game out of purchasing it, right? That's the least we can get. And next gen games should be, as the word says it, next gen. We are in 2023 and we still have games that are coming out in unreleased buggy states, i.e. Jedi Survivor. I recently bought Jedi Survivor thinking it would be good, and I was a little skeptical at first, but I was gonna hold off on it, but that hype got me, and now I'm waiting until tomorrow for the actual game to be patched, for me to actually play the game as it should be. And I can only imagine what Jedi Survivor would be if it came out in its original launch. My God, it would be terrible. It would be another EA flop that we saw with Battlefront 2, man. If your games are considered AAA as it should be, 30 FPS and 60 FPS have to be the standard, man. I mean, if we're in modern gaming, this is what we consider to be the standard, the normal now. And games like God of War releasing in a solid, great state is a good example of how games should be treated as AAA games by AAA studios, right? And you see, when games are delayed, they'd rather not delay it and just release it than fix it later because of the cost of how they have to reallocate marketing, the shareholders, and it's a lot of money that goes into delaying games. And it's cheaper to fix it later when the game comes out. They could just put together a little team to work on those bugs and that's it. But yeah, man, I feel like we as gamers have to stand in order for these shenanigans to stop, man. I kind of wanted to make this video after buying a Jedi Survivor and all the BS that's going on with it. And it looks like Redfall is about to have a rude awakening tomorrow, as we see some early leaks going through with that. But yeah, man, is this really modern gaming right now? I hope things start to change for the better, man, because this ain't looking good.